Oh, it's time! Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle, we unite and up. Trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. To the beastin' on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins.
Welcome to another episode of Bengals and Brews. I am Del Altman, joined by Greg Luther and Pork Chop. What's up, fellas?
What up, Dale? How's everything going out in God's country?
You know, same old cows and trees and mountains
and prairie.
Well, thanks to Dale revealing something. Dale thinks Dale let a cat out bag. I do work for the mafia, apparently.
I mean, you posted the picture. You dressed
I
up.
know.
You're all dressed up.
I didn't think anybody would catch on and all that. I'm like, God damn it, Dale.
The hair looks slicked back. You got like the killer look on your face, and you're fucking always got that ball bat. So it's like,
yeah,
like you can't live without it because you're so used to going around busting people up for the fucking gambling money they owe.
Right, exactly.
Like
I know, right?
A slimmer version of Vinny.
Well, no. So funny story. When I do fantasy football or college basketball thing, I'm always the one that's collecting the money, and I keep telling people, I got to have the money now. And
they better start listening. They see that picture and they watch this show with you swinging that bat around.
But people are like, Greg, why are you bothering me? I got to get the money now, man. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. I'm just kidding. I don't.
How many notches you got in that back, Greg?
Yeah.
How many knocks? Well, there's a couple of dents in here, a couple of good ones.
I'll bet.
Greg the Hammer. Greg the Hammer Valentine.
There you go.
Yep.
Like the old wrestler. Cash advance. That's what they call Greg. It's fucking. He's got cash advance.
Hey, Dale. Outside. I make everybody an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah. And then you break their legs.
Yeah, pretty much.
You go in a big savage mode. And that's the thing. You probably don't even remember. That's why he comes on here all happy and shit, Pork Chop. He blacks out. When he goes into savage mode, We've seen it.
Yeah, I know. It's like what the hell happened here?
It's like a multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
It's like, Will Ferrell and the other guys with Mark Wahlberg when he was Gator. And it was like when he goes into Gator, he loses it. He's not the same.
Right, exactly.
They just better have Gator's money.
That's right. You got to keep some kind of fucking antipsychotics around when Greg's with you. Yeah. I need to start traveling with a fucking shot. Keep one with me.
That's true. I mean, you traveled all the way down here with him and back.
I know,
man. Dale, man, you owe a debt. You owed a debt, buddy.
I did not know my life was in danger.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I'm a man of many faces and all that and stuff.
The more you know, Pork Chop, the more you know.
I know.
So I believe today is the last day of Bengals rookie minicamp, Mr. Mafia Greg. We haven't seen a lot since the first day of rookie minicamp, so maybe we'll get some more interviews, stuff like that tomorrow. I know there's a media day going on tomorrow, which is why James Rapide will not be able to join us tomorrow at 3:30, but we are going to have him on Wednesday at 3:30. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Me and Huday Joe, I believe, are going to be interviewing Mr. James Rapide for about 30 minutes. So that should be a good time. If there's anything you guys want to ask, like,
Oh, well, I already got to
interview anything,
I already got to interview him, but I mean,
I was talking about the people in the chat, Greg.
Oh, okay. I thought you asked me.
Hey, Greg don't give a fuck. He's swinging the bat. He's like, I already got to interview him, Dale.
But yeah, I figure we go over some of the stuff, Dan Horde reported on since we obviously don't have the credentials to be there. Even though I'm kind of disappointed, I thought Greg would sneak in at some point.
No, I snuck in. I asked a question. Remember?
No, for the training camp.
Okay. No. But Dale, one thing I do want to cover is what was the whole thing with Marissa Contepelli posted this with Logan Wilson, because remember we all thought it was a hint he's signing an extension soon. I did not see it on any Bengals website or anything.
They're just fucking with us.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They're putting up miscellaneous fucking with you pictures.
Okay.
So they put the
it
one
wasn't
up
in their video at all. It wasn't in the intro video, was it?
No, it wasn't anything. She just posted, so this could be. Oh, I hope this is a clue to something.
The schedule release, like I watched it
Yeah.
once. I didn't know. Maybe that was the graphic that was in there. But if not, maybe they're just going back and filming something with him.
Right.
Who knows? Could be a lot of things. We don't know.
We'll find out.
What's up, Foxy? What's up, everybody? Jolly with a question here. Should we start worrying about Joe and P extensions that they haven't happened yet?
I'm still not worried. Like I say, you got to remember all the extensions over the years. Geno Atkins, Carlos Dunlop, all these extensions happened during training camp. I'm not worried at all yet. It's still early. I'm not going to lie. I mean, was I expecting it earlier with T? Sure, but I still think it's going to get done. I'm like, who knows? Maybe they got something cooking up soon. I don't know, but I'm not worried at all yet.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned. I mean, we'll see. Training camp. I'm certainly not concerned about Burrows.
No.
I think it's smart for him to wait. Every quarterback seems to get an extra $1 million or so from the last one. So there's still deals out there for Herbert and I don't know if there's anybody else, but I know Herbert and all the deals that come in for Lamar and everybody else have already happened. So he could just be waiting out Herbert, and then after that, he'll say, okay, now knock $1 million on to what he got, and we're good.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, no, I am not worried about Burrow at all. Like James Rapine was on our show last week. He said he would be shocked before the season started. Burrow's contract was not taken care of. I am not worried about Burrow's contract. He is the one, obviously. I hope. Logan Wilson, I'm more confident in Logan than T, but like James said, it depends. You look at the linebacker market, like we got, what's his name, re-signed, Jermaine Pratt. You don't know how much he's going to be asking for, but T. Higgins, obviously David Mulgeta, as we all talk about, with his agent. I still think something's going to take care because you look at T, what he posts on Twitter. I mean, like you saw the thing with Isaiah Simmons, who's a free agent next year. He says, hey, come Cincinnati. T's very committed to Cincinnati. Whereas you look at what's his name, Williams up in the Jets. Did you guys see starting tackle for the ... You don't see T saying anything bad about the Bengals. He's all positive. So I think T's just all positive vibes with the Bengals lately. So I'm not worried.
Any concerns, Port Chop, with T. Higgins' contract?
Nah, man, I ain't worried about it at all because they're going to sign Burrow, and even if they don't sign T this year, we got him for another. We got this year, and we got 2 more years. We can sign him on the franchise tag. He ain't going anywhere soon.
Now, I'll say I am slightly concerned, because I'm probably going to be concerned until it either A, officially gets done, or I just think the longer it don't get done, the more likely we're going to get into the Jesse Bates scenario.
Yes.
And the same agent and the same, okay, you franchise tag him. He's not going to love that, but he'll play under it. And then it'll probably get to the point to where he won't play under a second franchise tag. So you do have, this year and then maybe just one on a franchise. So you do have him for 2 more full seasons upcoming, most likely.
Yeah.
But I would love to get a deal done, 5-year deal and a 4 or 5-year extension and just be done with it. But I don't know. It's just weird, because there was the stuff floating out there like, oh, the deal's done. And it's like you would think, even if maybe that was a little premature, you would think that there was still something to that maybe they were close. You would hope at least. I shouldn't say think, but you would hope, for that to be floated out there by somebody who does know the family at least, I mean, I don't know how well, but it has been around them. And then to say that, makes me think it was close or it is close, but I just don't know what's going on because that was a while ago that surfaced out there. And I mean, nothing's happened.
Deal done.
And it just, the longer it goes, the more I'm going to worry with that one. Now, maybe it's training camp because that's when they happen, Greg. Like you said, that's when the extensions have happened for the Bengals for whatever reason. Maybe everything's in place and that just won't hit, and I hope it does. But if it doesn't happen this year in training camp and we go into the season without him signing, because I'm not worried about Burrow. That's going to get done.
Yeah.
But if we go into this season without T signing any kind of extension, then I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's when I'm kind of at the panic button. I agree with you on that, Dale. That's when I'm at the panic button, kind of.
Yeah. So, like, right now, I'll just say slightly because I can maybe see that coming.
No, that's fair.
But, I'll wait and let's get through camp. And then week 1 rolls around. Week 2, if we haven't heard nothing by week 1 or 2. Because usually they get those deals done at least by week 1, usually.
Right. It's always training camp when it gets done. So who knows? Like I say, Maybe they have some. I think Cincy James said this one time. Maybe they have some. Who knows? They have something planned out where they announce Burrow, Higgins, and Wilson together.
Yeah.
I know that. Like Burrow, you would want to announce. Maybe Burrow's like, no, I want to do it with all my teammates. Like you said, but who knows? It could be a possibility. But I get what you're saying.
But why would Burrow? I mean, because Burrow is going to be the centerpiece. That's why I don't think Burrow would even want to do that. Because why would I want to take away the shine from their guys when they get paid?
Right.
Like that's my thought with that. And then Wilson, that's another one that wasn't mentioned in that question, but yeah, I mean, it's got to. His thing is it benefits him almost to play out the season based on how the free agent market went with linebackers. You had guys getting $5.5 million to $7 million, and then you had Edmonds getting like almost $20 million. Same thing with the Ravens. Roquan Smith got almost $20 million. There's such a disparity between
it's like
$5 to $7 million and $18 to $20 million on this end. So it's like, where does Logan Wilson fit in that?
Right, that's a huge gap. You don't know where to fill in that gap. With T. Higgins, it's going to be big, but you kind of have a feel where you're going to have to pay him. But with the linebacker core, it's like it's a huge gap. You have no idea.
Well, I'll just ask you, Pork Chop. Getting a deal with Wilson, what do you think it would take maybe to get him to sign? And then what would you be comfortable offering him? I mean, I know it's not your money, but if you're trying to be the Bengals planning for other people, like where on that scale of between $8 million per season and $20 million per season, even we'll say $6-7 million per season to 20, where are you comfortable at for him?
I'll tell you what, we're hoping that he takes a deal like Pratt did. Pratt was probably worth more than what he got. What he get, $7 or $8 million a year?
I think 7.
7. And Logan Wilson's probably a little bit. He's better than him, in the coverage and everything. I would imagine. I don't know how the money all plays out, but you would think Wilson's going to get like 8 to 10, maybe.
And I think that's the range I would be comfortable with.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of said the same thing with Pratt, but we thought Pratt was going to be playing in that more 12 to 13 range.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and Wilson, if he goes somewhere else, he could probably get more. So I'm hoping he takes that hometown discount, but part of that hometown discount included Lou Anarumo being here, and who knows what happens next year.
Yeah.
I think they would be better to sign him sooner than later.
What do you think, Greg? I think it benefits Wilson, like I said, to play out the season.
Oh, yeah, benefits him, sure.
Because maybe that market goes up next year based on the overall market, not like two players getting paid.
Well, he said he wants to get a deal done this offseason, so that's one positive thing. So before the season started last year, I had Wilson up here and Pratt like right here. But when the season ended, it's kind of like really close and all that. They're two different linebackers. Pratt's more the defensive linebacker. Wilson is like the all-around leader of that linebacker. So he should get more than Pratt. The most comfortable I would be with is maybe $10 million. But if he says I want $15 to $7 million, I'd have to be like, man, we have too much money to go around. I don't know if I can do that.
When he was talking to Lapp, he was like kind of like saying like they're already in talks. Like the people are talking to Bengals and his people are talking.
He said he thinks they've had some, but he wouldn't really kind of say.
Well, remember, we all thought Bates, when Hubbard got signed, remember, we were all thinking Bates was going to get done. Remember, Hubbard even came in with the Bates T-shirt on. We're like, oh, this deal is done. And all of a sudden, this report comes out, where, Jesse Bates is on TV saying apparently they don't view me as the top safety. We all thought Jesse Bates was going to get signed right after Hubbard. So, we'll have to see. But I just have this good feeling something will work out. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being too overly positive, but I think something will work out.
Well, and I just wondered too, okay, so if Logan gets his deal, then it's almost more you're like, okay, is T going to get his?
Yeah.
But I don't – and who's more replaceable? Because like Charles is saying here, he thinks Burrow and T will get done. And then he's mentioning an undrafted free agent that we've talked about, Shaka Hayward from Duke that we brought in, but like Marcus Bailey – he's on the last year of his deal. Akeem Davis-Gaither on the last year of his deal. Joe Bocci's on the 1-year deal. So if you do lose Wilson, that is a huge question mark. And to think an undrafted guy is going to come in and like fill Logan Wilson's shoes, not happening.
And you know what? The funny thing is, we're not even talking about right now. DJ Reader, I know he's going to be in his 30s and the Bengals like to stay young, but DJ Reader, we talked about this. That is the quarterback of your defense. That's going to be you asked me that question one time, Dale, if it came down to DJ Reader, Logan Wilson, and I'm still torn up, man, because we did, especially if we drafted, say if Mozzie Smith we took in the first round, if he was there, I'd be like, okay, Reader's gone after this year. We got to hope Mozzie does well. We did not draft one nose tackle at all in this year. So
no, we didn't draft a linebacker either. We
didn't. But yeah, and like you said,
draft a lot for the future needs, and we didn't. No one had us bringing in 2 receivers, and I'm not saying they're bringing in 2 receivers because to replace Higgins.
No,
but they did bring in 2 receivers. That is something to pay attention to.
Right.
I mean, but I think that just does mean like Boyd's not getting that extension because we said, oh, maybe Boyd gets one for like 1 or 2 more year extension.
The writing on the wall for 3 players to me immediately: Boyd, Awuzie, and who's the third guy and all that and stuff. Boyd, Awuzie, and Hendrickson. I think that's writing on the wall for all 3 guys.
But Hendrickson has 2 years on his deal still.
But $14 million next year. Wouldn't we cut? Don't we have the option of cutting him next year? Or
I think that would be silly. As long if he comes out and produces the way he produced the last 2 years, I'm not cutting that guy. Honestly,
okay, or restructure. Maybe we could talk him into restructuring. You don't know that, but Awuzie, I mean, like if he balls out this year, he's going to get a contract. I mean, I just don't see retaining Awuzie as of right now. It just doesn't make any sense with all these young corners we drafted.
No, I would agree with that. I think when Turner was drafted, that was the writing on the wall. This year, it was the writing on the wall for Eli Apple, but for the long term, it's the writing on the wall for Awuzie, most likely.
But and as much as you know how I am with Yossi Bosch, I'm a huge fan. But if anybody for once thinks this is T. Higgins' replacement, I'm going to be the first one to say you're out of your mind and all that and stuff. Yossi Bosch is still a developmental guy and all that. Like,
here's the thing, though, Greg. Best case scenario in the Bengals' eyes, they start seeing that development.
Yeah,
and if
that's true.
If they're unable to work out a deal with him, with T, then they say, okay, it's not next year. We're still going to franchise tag you, but the following year, they're like, this guy's had 2 years to learn under these guys and our coaching staff, and maybe I wouldn't count on it, but I'm just saying.
But Dale, like I say, not as of right now, no, and all that. Like I say, it's Tyler Boyd because we've talked about it. 2 receivers. We like Trent Irwin. Trent Irwin was a good guy, but like when those guys went down, we really did. Trent Irwin did step up. We really didn't have that good 4th receiver, in my opinion, and Charlie Jones. And Yossi Bosch, I think, can provide that.
Well, we needed some more speed, and they drafted 2 guys that give you a little more speed.
Exactly.
So that was huge to get that.
Chuck Sizzle definitely going to be seeing the field a lot this year.
Yeah. Hey, Dale, I didn't forget our bet, man. I think it was, 15 tall boys I have with you if Yossi Bosch is on the team, and that squad does not count.
So it was 12, but
12. Thank you for
15. He's up in the bet.
Hey, Dale, see, this is how honest Dale is, guys, because he could have easily said, no, you said 20. So thank you, Dale.
All right. So Crip wants to know why. Well, really,
No.
why is Bo Jackson the greatest of all time?
Well, if he stayed healthy, he could have been and all that. He was a damn good running back. I mean, I don't deny that, but I mean, didn't play long enough.
Injury. I mean,
yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't. That's just how it is.
Yeah, that was an easy one for Greg on that one. And then Charles here saying, I don't see us being able to keep Wilson, Awuzie, and
no.
Hilton, we still have for 2 years also. So that's
I thought it was 1 year left he has.
No, he signed a 4-year and Awuzie a 3-year. So Awuzie is the one who's on his last year, and Hilton still has an extra year after this. So that is good because I think that plays out really well to have Hilton for 2 years, especially while these young guys are still coming along in Cam Taylor-Britt and DJ Turner. If that's your 2 starters next year, those guys are still young, but you've got the veteran and Mike Hilton in there as your slot corner still for another year.
You're right, Dale. He's a free agent in 2025. I did not know that about Mike Hilton. Wow.
This guy, he looked it up, Pork Chop.
He did.
No, I didn't. I could have sworn when he signed it was only for a 3-year deal. My apologies.
Listen, there's sometimes I think I could be wrong, and I'll say I might be wrong. I knew I was right, Greg, and you still looked it up. Wow. You don't trust me. You don't trust me, Pork Chop. You're going to learn. You're going to learn one of these days.
I mean, your word is like the Bible to me.
Okay.
And plus, we got DJ Ivy, too.
Yeah.
Who knows? That guy could do good.
Yeah. Well, he's got the long arms. So we'll start ass backwards here. He took the number 38. The arms 32 and 5/8 inch arms for DJ Ivy. That was Dan Hord's note from watching the training camp. Longer arms than Peter Skoronski, the 11th overall pick, and Cody Mott, the 48th overall offensive lineman. So this guy's got some long arms, which is good for a corner because you're trying to get there and knock the ball loose and pass deflections and all that.
Yeah.
He's just never really been like above average his whole time at Miami, Florida, and he's been there for 5 or 6 years. And he's played. He was actually kind of better when he was like his freshman year was one of his best years. And I will say for the man, which is a note I added, he has the game where he intercepted Kenny Pickett 2 times in one game.
No, yeah.
So, hey, that's a good notch on your belt when, you know, he's on
especially
the
in this division.
Yep. So even if he don't make the team right out, I could see that as a guy we try to develop on the practice squad. And, I mean, he's got some traits to develop, including the arm length, decent speed. I mean,
he's got good athleticism too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, overall, he's pretty solid. What, Greg?
Well, no, Kelsey Conway tweeted this. So listen to this. Jags had real interest in making a trade for Jonah. Sensing Jacksonville had talks prior to the draft day, per a source, Bengals opted not to move him. He is expected to participate in the mandatory activities and play this season at right tackle. So, yeah, no. So there were they had offers out there and all that. So clearly what their asking price just didn't – their asking price was big. You know, I'll give the Bengals credit. You know, they don't just say, hey, we're making a trade. You got to give me more than what you're willing to give, you know?
Is this breaking news?
This wasn't breaking news. Kelsey Conway tweeted this.
The Jaguars took Anton Harrison.
Right.
So prior to the draft, they probably wouldn't have taken – obviously, they wouldn't have taken him.
If it was prior to the entire draft. Well, and their other guy got suspended, their actual left tackle, Cam Robinson.
That's right.
Was it gambling or what was it for?
I think it was gambling, yeah.
But I think he's only getting maybe a few games. If that's come out or not, I'm not sure.
Right. It was prior to the draft. So what do you think? I wonder what I would have been curious what their asking price would have been.
Well, I just wonder if that Cam Robinson's only out for 3 games and that you're wanting to bring Jonah in to get off to a decent start for 3 or 4 games. You're probably saying, "Oh, we'll give you a 6th-round pick for Jonah Williams."
Yeah.
And the Bengals probably said, click.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because they're probably like, oh, well, we're not wanting to give up a ton. We don't even know if this guy would start for us all year. Because then they'd be trying to move him to right tackle when the Cam Robinson came back. So then they'd be in the same conundrum after like week 3.
Right. Well,
he's not happy.
Goodberry responded with this, says, wonder if the Jags could have played pick 27 differently depending on what the Bengals' interest in trading away Jonah were. If Anton Harrison was available, I assume the Bengals might have been more interested in trading Jonah instead of the Jags. Yeah, wasn't the report the Bengals had interest in Antoine Harrison? I wouldn't have been happy with that. I did not want him because he's more of a left tackle. I would have not been happy with that.
He is more of a left tackle, but it sounded like the Bengals thought he could make the transition to right. I just, at some point, get tired of the transitions personally. Okay. Right. Chris is saying he thinks it was PEDs. I'm not sure either way on that one. That's why I said I'm not sure if he was suspended for that. I know there was a bunch of players, but that was like the Lions, wasn't it? That got hit with the gambling. I think that was Detroit. So I don't think that was him in Jacksonville. His might have been PEDs or something else. That's good, Robert. Hooray.
What up?
William in there. Sorry, said Rob. Everybody else we were saying hi to earlier. But yeah, moving our way back up. So some notes then.
It was PED.
PED. All right. Yeah. So thank you for that, Chris. So did it say when you looked that up if he got a certain amount, like 4 to 6 games?
Hold on for 1 second. It just says facing PED. It doesn't say how much. Well, then Cam Robinson days with Jaguars numbered after Antoine Harrison pick. This was after the draft. They said this. I don't think it would be because of that. I don't know.
Well, they just re-signed him like the year before to like a 4 or 5 year deal, which I thought was silly because he had never really.
It just says he's expected to be suspended for the beginning of the 2023 season. So that could be 4 games, 5 games. We don't know yet.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Right.
But moving up from DJ Ivy with the rookie Minicamp report via Dan Horde, Brad Robbins, who's taken number 10. He didn't realize that was Kevin Huber's number.
Yeah, right.
Like I heard him say, he's like, I didn't really pay attention. They just offered me some numbers. I was like, 10 seems cool. So yeah, he probably wouldn't have taken that once he found that out. But
hey,
whatever.
thank God he got my fucking tweet too and brought that stash with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stash is back.
I feel pretty good about it being
my
that
article.
tweet I
He
sent
read
out.
my article because he
You read your article. That's right.
His pick particularly went from A+ with the stash or B if he didn't bring it back. So
It's
Right.
a fucking A+.
yeah. But it said, and hearing him talk about it, he really wasn't sure if that was Zach Taylor, which that's what we all thought, but it's just hilarious that he really thought. So my thing is like, dude, it's the 6th round. Why did you think why were you so sure at that point? And he said even after they got off the phone, he started to feel like, okay, it probably was, but it's not until he's seen it a couple minutes later on the TV that he was like, okay, that actually was Zach Taylor. I just had that phone call with.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, Mom, that
Hey,
was
Zach
Zach.
Taylor, how you doing? Yeah, he was like probably mocking him and all that and stuff. And he's
Yeah.
like, holy crap. But no, you guys remember the whole thing with Mohamed Sanu, right?
Yeah.
How he was prank called. Well, we took him, just not in the first round. We waited to the 3rd round.
Yeah, which should just be, it's just such a dick thing to do.
Yeah, come on. I mean, that's just being a jackass right there.
But then they were also talking about he went outside and punted some the other day, so he didn't get to stay in the nice bubble. But the weather's been nice either way.
Fuck yeah, it's been nice as shit.
I mean, those guys are spoiled. They get to stay in that bubble all the time. But he was outside punting, and they said his hang time was regularly hitting 5. Elite punters are like 4.8 in the NFL. So he's literally hitting some of the hot. Well, and that's on average. So he's going to have games where it don't touch 5 and this, that, and the other, different things going on. But the fact that he's able to have and he had the highest in NCAA football the last couple of years. So, I mean, and that's what we needed. Now, yes, there's still a competition, but as everyone would say, he has a leg up on the competition.
Yes. Yeah, he does. I'm looking forward to it, man.
No, I'm looking forward to it too, but yeah, man, that was interesting. Yeah, when I think about it now, we were talking about earlier, if the Bengals traded Jonah just so they could take Antoine Harrison, I'd much rather have Jonah than Harrison, man. If we took Harrison over Michael Murphy, I mean, can we both agree? I would have been pissed off over that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Anytime you're invested in the line and even the O-line to protect Burrow, you could talk me into a lot of picks being good picks on the line.
All right, man. I don't know. I just was never sold on him personally.
No, I agree. I would, in the moment, 100% would have been disappointed. Because I do think he projects better as a left tackle.
Right.
But, I would have been like, okay, let's work with this.
Right. Well, we'll find out when we play the Jaguars how he's going to do it right tackle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, it'll probably be a right tackle because the guy should be back, I would imagine. So moving up to number 80, Greg, you getting this jersey?
Oh shit! Here we go.
Andre Yosavash, 6'3", 205 pounds.
Johnny Tsunami.
Basically, just he can really run. This is sort of like Dan Hoyt. He's eager to soak up knowledge from Troy Waters. It's your job now. You have to know a bunch of things, and you get paid to do it. That's what he said.
Well, who won? Wait, who won that race between him and DJ Turner? Didn't they both race each other or something, or did that not happen?
I don't know. I thought that was just people bullshitting talking about it.
Okay. That'd be an interesting race, though, because you got an Olympic guy versus the guy who ran the fastest at the combine. That'd be a good race right there.
Well, I said I'm going with Juan Drago in that hypothetical anyway because he ran 4.26.
I beg to differ.
4.26 greater than 4.46.
I don't give a damn about that. I've never seen an argument like this since everybody wanted Billy Hamilton and John Ross to run against each other.
But I mean, I don't understand on the race wise. How would 4.26 not beat 4.46?
An Olympian, though, Dale. He's going up against a guy that could have gone to the Olympics, bro.
But they're racing. It's a foot race, right? Okay,
Dale. He could get lucky that day. I'm just saying, Yossi Bosch could get lucky that day, man.
Juan Drago didn't say let's do the heptathlon.
Right.
I don't know, Dale. You see,
they already
I
did
would
race,
favor
Greg.
Yosavash for heptathlon. The event
Rob P is agreeing with me. Yossi Bosch.
Well, he said a 60. That's what I mean. So are they going to do 60?
Yeah.
40, he clearly gets him because he don't. And 60, Now I kind of I want to see a 50-yard dash.
Let's do it. Let's meet in the middle with a 50-yard dash. Let's meet in the middle.
They need to have a 50-yard dash.
50-yard dash. I want to see this. Bengals, let's make this happen.
For all the money.
Let's do it for charity. No, seriously, do it for charity or something. Let's see this happen. Why not?
I agree. Get it done, Greg. Call your people in the Bengals organization.
I sure will.
So
if nobody to throw money in there, I'll run with my shirt off. That would be the third one running just for the hell of it. Even though
I'm going to be able to run with your fucking boner if that guy's out there.
Yeah.
Running.
Yeah, you're going to see him over here getting loose and stretching. Like, I got to go.
Yeah.
You get a fucking TPO put on you that day.
Well, Dale, before we go on, I forgot to tell you, man, guess who purchased a Glass Eater shirt? Who's going to be wearing it in front of Ted Karras and Orlando Brown Friday?
Hey, I heard Greg Luther did, is what Joe told me. Is that correct?
What's that?
I said, is that correct, Mr. Greg Luther?
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
And
so the suspense.
You'll have to tell Ted Karras, hey, be on the lookout.
I'm going to tell him on the lookout, but I also got to tell him I want part of the profit over this. I'm going to physically be there, Dale. I got to get part of the profit here, man.
Part of what profit?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what I was saying.
I was just taking a shot there, bro.
Hey.
Half of nothing is nothing.
No, let's start a race again. I want you to tag this. We'll start a race. Drago and Yoshi. Drago Yoshi. Let's hashtag it.
You always say for people to do this and get on Twitter and do it, and no one ever does it. So you're going to have to do it, Greg.
Fine. Fine. If I have to go myself, I will.
Drago versus Yoshi. 50-yard dash.
Right.
Hey.
At Bengals PR. Tag them. You got to do what you got to do
here. This shows you how desperate the Dolphins are. They just signed Cedric Ogbuehi.
He just got released by somebody the other day.
No, was it the Ravens that released him or the Jets?
No, maybe
Seahawks?
I don't know. Maybe the Jets. I don't know.
Dolphins, though, man, signing Cedric Ogbuehi. I mean, you know what? I mean, he's been around, so he just
good for him. Cashing in the checks.
Good for him cashing in the checks, man. It's just that he just didn't work out, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have been a first-round pick. He was injured at the time, even. Like, that should have dropped him. On a lot of boards, people had him as second, third round because of, talent and injuries. And the Bengals were like, oh, we're going to outsmart everybody. He could have been a top 5 pick if healthy. Well, a lot of things could happen.
Oh, look what Foxy put in here. Here we go. Foxy.
Oh, I don't know about this, Foxy, but that's an interesting take. So,
hey, anything to get Yoshi on the field, this would actually be cool. Yeah, Foxy, let's do this, man.
For the podcast listeners, our guy Foxy, $5 super chat, which much appreciated. What do you guys think about putting 20 pounds on Yoshi and turn him to tight end next year? Probably have to be more than that. He's 6'3", like 205. You probably have to put like 30 to 40 pounds on him.
Yeah, man. It's not just, but bro.
And then what's his speed at that point? You know what I mean? Like, how much would he lose in speed? Or if he goes light and he's 225 tight end, you're just basically flexing him out like an Evan Ingram or somebody.
How many ribeyes do you think he would have to eat a day?
I don't know, but I'm sure you would help him, right?
There you go. Be fucking grilling in your backyard.
I take him to Roadhouse saying, here you go, man. Here's my cold life savings, man. Eat every ribeye you could possibly see. Go get him. I got this planned out, buddy.
Fucking slipping him a Mickey.
I'll be his nutrition.
Yeah, Paul, I don't think DJ's going to – he'll probably go with Turner. But he said – because I listened to that, which we were going to get to that, but he does think his teammates, and he wants them, since there's so many DJs, DJ Ivy, DJ Reader, he says he expects them to call him Juan Drago or just Drago.
Right.
Drago, I think so he said. Either way.
He's pronouncing it wrong. He's pronouncing it wrong. It's Drago.
Needs to be Drago.
Right. We'll let him know.
We'll let him know how to pronounce his own name.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's got it wrong the whole time. He's been saying DJ too much.
Hey, so our Browns, should we let Browns fans just live in their fantasy, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. It scared the hell out of me. They got, what's his name, Zadarius Smith. But how often have we seen this so many times?
I already went on my rant about them the other day on Friday night. So
all right. Okay, that's right. Never mind.
Let's let that one lie for now until we start getting closer to week 1. Then I'm sure we'll have plenty to – because
that's true.
They just can't keep their mouth shut.
Hey, let him talk. Talk your shit.
But speaking of Brown, our 5th round pick, Chase Brown, the note for him, first thing he came in the locker room, he took a picture, sent it to his mom, put it on his social media page. That's how thankful he is. We all saw him crying on draft day when he was finally drafted. Just overwhelmed, overjoyed.
Yes.
Both those guys had a tough journey. And mom was addicted, had some drug addiction issues in their life. They come from Canada. They moved in with the family when they were like 14. So both of them boys have overcome a lot, and both of them to get drafted to the NFL. Amazing story. Very awesome accomplishment for them, their mom, their family, the family that took them in, they're still close with. Just an all-around good story, but he just seems all around like a good person. So I love that pick. Like I told you guys, I had him as a late 3rd round guy, and we got him at the end of the 5th. So that's why it's one of my favorite picks. Probably my favorite pick is just the value of it was so good. And then I wanted to mention this since I seen it today, that Bengal Gym and them guys put on the Jungle to the Hall event each year. So he'll be signing. It does cost money for him at the Jungle to the Hall event, but the money's still going to charity, but he'll be there signing, taking pictures, and that but you will have to pay for that. Now, they were saying like some of the other, veteran players and things like that, they'll be there signing for free, I think, already. Yeah. So that's what I read on it. So I don't know all the details. I'm sure there'll be more details coming out as it gets closer. But I did want to mention that because I think that's the first I've seen of it was today that they got Chase Brown, who will be at that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did get my ticket for that. When I saw that, that's awesome. If I have the cash, I definitely will try to do that because when
is that event, Greg? Because I didn't have the date.
I think it's June 11th or 12th. And let me look at the dates right here. I believe it's here. I got my ticket on my wallet here. Hold on. I'm not going to show you guys my ID or anything, but
why not?
Yeah. Credit card.
Jungle to the Hall, June 10th. June 10th is Jungle to the Hall.
10th.
And where's that at? Down at the stadium?
No, it's down. It's down at West Freedom Way. I believe it's on the banks.
June 10th. I'm going to have to check my schedule.
June 10th at 1 p.m. I think you get down there at 1, but it doesn't start till 4 or something. I'd have to relook when it starts. But yeah, it's June 10th.
Didn't you win some stuff last year, Greg?
Yeah, that Chad Johnson jersey. I swear to you, there were people buying 20 tickets. It was $5 a ticket. I just bought for 5 tickets, it was $5 or something. There were people that were buying 20 or 30 tickets, and all of a sudden I read my numbers. I'm like, holy crap, I won the jersey. And then
I won something else, right? This guy spent $5 and won 2 things. People were there.
No, then I won something else. No. So Bridget was sitting right near me. She gave me this look like, are you kidding me? Yeah, and all that. I'm like, oh, the ticket never don't lie. So I mean, so I can never say I never won anything because we all know that's a bunch of crap. Right?
Did you say the Jungle to the Hall, it costs money to go?
No, I think it was a free ticket, I believe, and all that and stuff. I don't think I paid.
Did you have to order the ticket?
It's been such a while ago. I don't think you do. You do have to order the ticket, but I don't know if there's any more tickets available. That's the thing, because the tickets went on sale quite some time ago. But I can check and ask.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, and as it gets closer, somebody might have one available. That back too, or something like that. Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, no, I'll find out for you guys right now, as a matter of fact, as we speak.
And we'll move on to Chuck Sizzle. Sinks his hip, cuts for making a catch. Super important, and Chuck says, super important to come in and try to learn as much as possible to learn how this organization works. The culture in the locker room, try to be a sponge and pick up everything I can. So, generic statement. But, hey, he looked good. I don't know if anybody's seen videos of him running routes. He looked clean. He had one diving one on the sideline. Mm-hmm. That looked really impressive. So, seems to be having a good camp. What is it, Greg?
It's free. You can still reserve a spot. They are free. Saturday, it's 1 to 4 Saturday. Yeah. Freedom Way, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45202.
So you don't need a ticket. You just show up.
We have to reserve a spot. You have to reserve.
Oh.
It's a free ticket, but you have to reserve a
But
spot.
they still have spots, so you
Send me that link, Greg.
I am doing it right now as we speak. Dale, you want me to send it to you too, or no?
Probably not.
Ah,
You want to come down here? We'll take. Hey, when we're done, we're gonna take you to Midwest Best Barbecue.
Dale, I'm going to get you. Dale, what if Midwest Barbecue? Hey, by the way, speaking of Midwest, let's hope this happens, everybody. Get Midwest at Paycor Stadium. I mean, they're not in yet. There's a contest, but we need to make this happen. So I don't need to. We can have Midwest at the Paycor Stadium. That would just be so awesome if that could happen.
Hell yes, it would. And since they could do the Grippo wings, man.
Absolutely, Uno Wings.
Like Grippo.
Uno Wings would definitely be there, but like I said, we have to wait. They're still in. If they hopefully, I know there's like a round and all that stuff. So it's still a ways to go, but that's who I'm pulling. And Dale, thank you for Bengals and Bruce for supporting it also.
Yeah, I mean, you guys talked highly of it. It's something that I plan on trying, and we know that they're big Bengals fans that go to the games and stuff. So, I mean, they're a local business, so it seems like what the Bengals are looking for. So, I just said this seems like it'd be a great candidate. And yeah, Paul, I am a little surprised. I know he's not number one. I don't think he thinks he's number one, but who knows, man? I can't climb in his head. It seemed like he was okay with taking a backup role.
Right? No, he wasn't being picky or anything.
But yeah, it's just we don't know exact money. He might say, "Okay, I'll be a backup, but you still need to pay me X amount of dollars that not many teams have." I don't know. I'm really not sure. And the Chiefs cry about everything. Their fan base cries about everything. If they let them out of Germany, that's a crock of shit because it's set. Who has ever been able to just be like, nah, we ain't doing it? Like, if they let them out of that game and assign someone else, that'd be the biggest freaking joke. But could we see it happening? Yes, because it's the Chiefs and we've seen some shady shit.
Well, that's fucking Roger Goodell's team, that's why he went down on the field and told the who was it he was telling, like, we did it after the AFC championship. Yeah,
he said, I don't care how hard you hit him or whatever to the fucking Chris Jones. Hugging, like making out on the field is weird. But yeah, our buddy Will, do you think at any point in the NFL will have a game each year players it'd be like the old XFL, right? He hate me, and
yes.
I don't think they would, but it would be interesting to see. Which some people, I mean, I guess Burrow would have to pick a nickname at that point, right?
Right.
He'd have to show favoritism.
Yeah.
No, he'd still be like Burrow.
And maybe he would spell it in the Creole way from,
or he'd just go,
Louisiana.
Or he'd go Joey B. He just put Joey-B on the back of his, probably. But yeah, it'd be a fun idea for a game or for a preseason game. Like preseason, no one gives a shit anyways.
Exactly.
Even like warm-ups before the game.
Well, that's probably confusing though. People are trying to make the team based on their tape from preseason. It's like, here's Snickers.
Snickers.
Snickers had a good run here, but
hey, Dale, pull up the one Charles H. has right here. This is an interesting question. This is something I don't think has ever been discussed much. If Joe Mixon gets suspended, which looks like could be a possibility, but we see a lot of Chase Brown. I don't know. We still don't know the whole situation. What's going on? I mean, we just don't know.
If he would, because we have no idea if that's even on the table.
Right.
It seems like. I mean, we don't know, right? We just
don't know. Nobody knows.
If he would, yes.
Yeah.
I think Chase Brown's your feature back because he's used to carrying the load at Illinois. And I think that then they slide Travion in as his backup and the third down guy for that game.
Well, Dale, what was interesting is we had James on last week. I asked him the question I asked him is, what position do you think we're not satisfied with? And I just brought out, it has to be tight end, right? He said, I think we're okay at tight end. He said he would add another running back, which I found very interesting. I mean, but if Mixon, if I know, just say, for example, if he's suspended for like 4 or 5 games, I give Zeke a call immediately. Yeah. I mean, because you can't go to the season with Chase Brown and Travion Williams. Even though I'm a big fan of both of them, you can't go to the season with just those 2 guys at running back.
I just read an article, I think it was Sports Illustrated, talking about how Bengals are still in the talk for a lot of possibly trading for a running back. Like they even mentioned like Derrick Henry and Delvin Cook.
I don't see that.
We always get connected to this stuff now that we're good, but then it's like I don't think the Bengals are ever really in for it. But it just people that write these articles, they're going to toss out some teams that
right, but like
are higher profile that they think are going for it. You know?
So Dale, say if Mixon was suspended 4 games, what would you do at running back for the time being? Would you just stick with what you have, or would you add like a free agent piece such as Zeke or something?
You got to add another body. There's not many out there. So, I mean, you're basically like Zeke would have to be your prime target. I really like Jerick McKinnon, but the Chiefs ended up bringing him back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Chase Brown could slide in and still be that feature role, and you'd still ask Zeke to do the third down role. And then
that's exactly what I think.
Maybe
that's what I want. Yeah.
Well, he pipped and he gets cut at that point. I don't know. You know,
nobody knows. We can't comment because we don't know the whole situation or anything.
Yeah, but that's when you do these shows. You speculate.
Yeah, you speculate. Yeah.
If you're asking me if that happens, then my
answer is scenario. It's a scenario situation.
And yes, I would sign Zeke if it's like 4 games. If it's more than 1 or 2 games, I think you got to sign. You got to sign somebody. I know they have a couple undrafted guys, but come on, man, get somebody. We're trying to win Super Bowls here. We're not relying on undrafted running backs. Which I mean, hey, running backs sometimes can come from undrafted more than other positions in late rounds. So I mean, I guess I shouldn't completely hate on that, but it's just not something I would want to rely on for 3 or 4 games, especially.
Yeah, but like I say, with the tight ends, I mean, James, I've always James Rapien, I'm a big fan of. I respect James, but I just don't agree with the whole tight end thing. I know I got in the same fight with Santori about this on Twitter. I understand. Irv Smith is more athletic than Hayden Hurst. I understand he was a better prospect coming out than Hayden Hurst. It's like I keep going back. It's just the injury concerns and all that. I hope that I get proven wrong big time and all that. But if it wasn't for the injury concerns, I wouldn't even hardly be paying attention almost right now.
Well, Irv Smith wasn't a better prospect coming out. Because Hayden Hurst went in the first round. Irv went in the second.
Oh, Irv went in the second. Okay. Well,
Irv went 2 picks before we took Drew Sample.
Oh.
It went Irv Smith, A.J. Brown, All-Pro A.J. Brown, Pro Bowl A.J. Brown receiver, and then Drew Sample.
Yeah, okay, but I don't know if I even agree. Is Irv Smith really more athletic? They're 2 different tight ends, but is Irv Smith really more athletic than Hayden Hurst when he's healthy, do you think?
Maybe slightly, but it's not much of a difference. Their 40 times was both like
right. I mean, I compare both
4.6s, and Hurst is a bigger guy.
Yeah. Like Raz scores, I think Hurst has the edge just because he's bigger and all that and stuff. I mean, sure, Irv may be a little bit faster, but overall height and all that, I just think it's Hayden Hurst. Like I say, I hope Irv Smith proves me wrong big time. I hope he proves me wrong big time. Don't get me wrong.
Now, moving on up, they talked about Jordan Battle, and Dan asked him about, playing in 54 games for Nick Saban.
Mm-hmm.
Then just in general, it doesn't even sound like he started talking about Saban at that point. He said, everybody wants the end goal of going to the Super Bowl. You have to understand what you can do to have an advantage going into a game. How can you make the team better?
Right.
Which, once again, just listening to those quotes are like, well, you know why the Bengals love this man.
Yeah.
Team leader, just all-around character guy in Jordan Battle. And then James Rapien, when I was listening to Locked On, he was surprised how thick he was. So I thought I'd mention that,
Well, he is in the locker room.
Back in. He's looking at him like, damn, he's probably had them built bars.
That's right. He probably got him a fucking crate of them.
But, yeah, it sounds like Jordan Battle is going to be a stud. I mean, he's basically saying he's built like a fucking jacked-up linebacker that plays safety and runs 4 or 5.
And he's got
That's
real high football IQ.
Yes. And he knows what's coming. Like, that man's going to fucking put the hurt on some people.
Yeah.
Whether it's this season or after this season. But that's going to end up, I think, being a really, really good draft pick. And then our favorite, Juan Drago, they were showing video of, how quick he could get up to speed. Long and fluid his strides are, Dan's saying. And he's saying, I can cover a lot of ground without really looking. He takes long strides. Some people take shorter and makes them look faster. But, dude, he's up to full speed in, 2 steps. It's insane. And you see it on tape, too. It's not just, out there on the practice field. The way he breaks on the balls when, it's a little screen out, to the tight end or the running back. Boom, he's on them immediately. It's pure sex, Greg. I know it's pure sex. Drago is pure sex.
Hell yeah, he is.
Speak
Good
on
looking
it, pork
motherfucker
chop.
too, man.
Speak on your man, Drago.
Listen, man, that guy, if he sits in the fucking cut all year, it's going to surprise me. I think that he's going to be on that field playing. And not only that, but with the fucking hang time that fucking Robbins is going to put on that ball and Juan Drago running down the field in special teams, this guy's going to fucking kill it. And he'll definitely be our starter next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts some games this year, and especially going into the beginning of it, Woozier might not be back at right at the beginning of the season. And he's
I think it would have to be later in the year, kind of like with CTB, to make sure they had him up to speed. But yeah, Greg, with that Farmer thing.
I feel good about our corners, man, for the next fucking few years. That's for sure.
No, I did too. Pork chop, even if we lose Woozier next year, which is possible, I feel perfectly fine. I am totally fine with him.
And then Murphy, obviously, he just shows up and looks like this guy's a freak at 21 years old.
What was it Dan Horde that said, was he the one that used the quote, motorcycle lean?
Dude. Yeah, that's a Greg Cosell term. The way he gets around that final pad and the drill, bend around the edge like that. And they were talking about, too, like Marion Hobby just giving him small tips about getting to the quarterback quicker. Because, I mean, he's already given him that in, like, the first practice and things that the kid's probably going to use because he's a fucking very smart kid as well. So where he just runs upfield a lot on tape. I just see this. It's going to work out really well. He's going to be a very – worst case scenario, you got like a very solid player who still gets you, a lot of seasons, 5 or 6 sacks. Maybe he never turns into the 10 to 15 sack stud you want, but he's going to hold up against the run and get you 6 sacks a season. That is basically like similar to a Hubbard, and we all love Hubbard.
Fuck yeah. Cincinnati loves that kid.
So I just think – and that's the low side because he's only 21. Athletic freak, got way more natural athleticism than Hubbard. So his upside, just based on his athleticism, is so much higher. But I'm saying that's probably like his floor is you get another Sam Hubbard.
Yeah,
which
I agree.
Really good.
Right. That's worst case scenario. I think he's going to be a fucking stud, man. The farther we get out from that draft, the more I look back and I like our draft.
I do too. Like I said, if we even took a tight end in the 6th round, I would have given it an A+. But you know what? I am almost at the point I don't care anymore. If they're confident in what they're going with, who am I to question?
And I still think Wilcox comes back.
No.
That's something I want to do. I want to get down the numbers of who all we have on the roster and how many spots we got left to 90, and then try to figure out who could still be brought in to maybe fill. And a lot of it will be like undrafted guys and things like that. But just see how many spots are still out there. Foxy's asking, when is Mr. Big Time coming back? Talking about Jeff, I'm assuming. I don't know. He's hoping to finish his catching Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, the man had tons of time getting drunk all weekend. He called me like 40 times. I finally called him back. It's just like, man, I got stuff going on, buddy. But he was like, I got the island in oh, man, that was his big accomplishment.
Oh,
and then he was hammering them beers Saturday. Yeah.
But
I was going to go live, but then my wife was like, you do what you want. And I was like, nope, not doing that, Jeff.
You don't. No. When they say, go ahead, do what you want, you don't do what you want.
That was one of those you could tell by the tone. It's like, oh, you do whatever you want.
Yeah. But no, Dale, you brought up Wilcox. James did say he's pretty sure they'll get someone like Wilcox back. So, yeah, so technically we're not done adding tight end. But, yeah, I think we're going to get Wilcox back.
Yeah, and then you just, like me personally, I just hope Irv Smith stays healthy. Because
I
like the player. It's what do you have after him to fill his role if he gets hurt?
James and Santori, if you guys will watch this right now, if Irv Smith proves me right, you both can punch me in the gut big time. I will let both you come up and punch me in the gut.
Well, it ain't about that. Like they were just saying the depth wise, like
the depth
don't need that much depth, and they think Sample's good enough if he needs to fill in, and that's why I'm like, I can't ever say that. Like I'm not allowed. Like I just can't. My body won't.
No, I know. I mean, like, look, I respect their opinions. I respect the James. I have 100% respect for. I just don't know if I can. I just don't know if I see that myself. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I would just like somebody that was more similar to his skill set, 4'6", more dynamic pass catcher, and it's not Sample. That's not Wilcox.
Yeah.
That's not Ossie. So I'm just saying, like I wish we had another backup, And it sounds like draft-wise, they were going to go after more of the pass-catching guy with good speed.
Right. Yeah, no. They had the two tight ends they only liked were Kincaid and Laporte, the two biggest pass-catching tight ends. So clearly our focus is more on pass-catching tight ends.
Oh, yeah.
And other teams are going to make cuts that have a shitload of tight ends, and they're not going to be able to keep them all. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, if it's not Wilcox, it's probably going to be Ethan Carter because we like his special teams, and he did come in for a visit. So I want to make sure we mention that name. Good name to mention, Will, because I had it on my notes a week or so ago, the ones I left at work, and then I never remembered to mention them. So Charles Burrow in the house, yes, and he was wearing a headband like I usually wear. That's why I said I can't wear one today. I can't compete with that man wearing a headband. My God. And that one picture, it looks like the gun show was out. Just everything about him was, glistening as usual.
Yeah, that headband, he was on your nuts today, Dale.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't even care. That's the thing.
He watches the show.
He
watches the show. One of these guys with these fucking names, that's him. They won't send us a picture of him. They won't jump on there, It's probably Joe.
Yeah. But Pork Chop, I know you got to get ready for work. Gregor, I know you got to get ready for sex.
That's right. He's got to get ready to rub one off to fucking Josevich.
That's true.
I got to start the whole Josevich Turner. I got to start it, Dale. I know you always back me up. You always do back me up. Even if it doesn't spread, I always appreciate you have my back, man.
I try, Greg.
Look for Greg's hashtag rub one off for Josevich.
No, seriously, guys, seriously. What should the hashtag be? I want to be serious on this.
For what? The race?
Right. Yeah, it should be Yoshi versus Yoshi Drago race.
I would just say Yoshi versus Drago as like talking about it.
Yeah.
And then put like hashtag 50-yard dash.
All right, I'll think of something.
Yeah. As long as, you mention them and then
Dale, I'm not smart. Dale, I don't have your smarts, Dale, to think of stuff like this, man. To you, it's no big deal, man. I don't have your smarts on this, bud.
Greg, you're plenty smart, buddy. Don't sell yourself short. I don't.
All right. Zeke Natty could have made it, but we'll
exactly.
It still could happen, though. Okay.
So if we have some news, maybe we'll be back on another day this week. You never know. But as of right now, Wednesday's going to be me and Houday Joe interviewing James Rapine for about a half an hour. And then Friday will be the next time I'm back home with these two beautiful faces at 3:30.
Whoa, wait. No, I think we're going to be at that thing Friday and all that. That's at 4 o'clock.
Not at 3:30, is it?
Is it that early, Greg?
Yeah, it's at 4 o'clock at the Holy Grail.
What? It's at 4 o'clock?
I'm not going to have these beautiful faces. So I have to see if maybe Iceman is off of his sabbatical and if he could maybe join me on Friday since these guys won't be here. So
I'll take I'll take my headphone and try to pop on down there. But man, when I did it at the draft, it was loud as shit.
It's going to be loud down there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go in the toilet.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. Something always works.
Worst case scenario, we will have a show then Friday. I was saying 7 this week. I think Karen's going to join us as a guest, but it may end up being 8 o'clock because Derek has another birthday party. And I'm like, Jesus, Derek, you do the show one day a week.
Yeah.
One day, Derek. One. And every time it's like scrambling to wonder. But he said, well, the worst thing is, I don't even know if we'll make it then if we change it to 8. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, Dale, can you do a Thursday? Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't do Thursday. My bad.
So that's usually it's him and Joe. That's why we do Friday. And we're trying to have like a schedule, a routine. So, maybe we could actually get into that for now, but we'll figure it out. And yeah, I may need you, Foxy, if you're off work on Friday.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then if we can get old Hefe to get that kitchen done, but I'm not counting on him. He said, I can have it done Tuesday or Wednesday. He won't have it done. He'll be panicking, trying to still get it done Friday, probably.
Hey, Dale, I could probably still jump on Friday for part of it. If nothing else, I'll drive down there and I'll from Big Fancy.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll figure it out, guys. Don't worry about it. Like, You're gonna be there with your best friend Orlando Brown.
Yep, that's true.
And
Hey, I'm going to be rocking Dale. The whole point is I'm going to be rocking with the shirt. I'm bringing the koozie down and everything with me.
Well, I was going to say, hopefully somebody becomes best friends with Ted Karras, because I know we'd be best friends.
Yes, you
if
would.
we ever hung out.
You would.
Because we both like Miller Lite.
That's it, man.
And that's really all you need.
Maybe you
Dale,
need to get down here on
serious.
Friday.
I will go down and talk to him, man. No, I'll do my best, bud.
Greg, I know a guy you'd be best friends with. He's like,
right.
Security.
Let me set you up on fucking blind date.
Right. Dale, I won't go crazy on Take Care. It's like I would. You all thought I was going to be with Zeke, I promise.
Yeah, well, that could still happen if we would sign him.
Oh, you don't want to see that like you saw that one.
Did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. But yeah, Wednesday, there will be a show Wednesday, 3:30, James Rapine. There will be a show Friday, likely at 3:30. Then we'll see. Like, hey, maybe one of these deals gets signed, and then we'll have a special episode sometime.
Right.
We always love that.
That'd be hot.
Yeah, it's 1 hour now. If it was mock draft, it'd be 2 hours. You're right, Crep, but it's not. It's not mock draft season. All right. Love y'all.